thank you for joining me for this week's anime discussion. Today, the anime that we're going to be talking about is I'm Standing on a Million Lives. Now, this genre, is part of the isekai genre, which is one of my favorite genres of anime and manga and web novels and things like that. And I haven't watched the entire show or read the manga that it's based on, so I don't know too much about the story other than the description that is given for the anime, which is that Yotsuya Yusuke, the third-year student, is transported to a game-like world where he has two other classmates there that have been in that world before. They've done a few quests, and it talks about how he is kind of manipulative, and he eschews emotions, like he's not a touchy-feely type of person, like the common emotional or personality traits of a protagonist are things that he does not have. And that's really the kind of the description that drew me into wanting to watch this particular anime. I have to say, though, that I have not seen that, he's really the anti-hero that you might see in other anime. I typically look for anime that fall outside of the immediate trope of the hero, of the just, I'm a basic good person that's protagonist, and I must save everyone. There have been other anime like, there have been other anime that have had anti-heroes, so to speak. The Rising of the Shield Hero is one that is kind of predicated on the base that it's not the typical story. You have, the fourth hero, the Shield Hero, who's looked down upon because his magic weapon is a shield versus a bow and arrow, a sword, or a spear that the other heroes have. And there's already prejudice in the new world that the people travel to against the shield hero. And so it creates a situation that is not as enjoyable for the main protagonist, you would say. Like, they expect things to go right. If you have seen The Rising of a Shield Hero, you know what happened at the very beginning, how the main protagonist is accused of committing a horrible crime that he didn't commit, and he's kind of abandoned and alone, but he manages to pull himself out of that. And in a way, I'm Standing on a Million Lives is close to that, in that the job that Yotsuya Yusuke is assigned is as a farmer. His other two classmates are a mage and a warrior, so they are the typical jobs or positions in a game or in a fantasy setting that are stronger, at least much stronger than a farmer. And as it turns out, his classmates are super weak, and they have to, within the first episode or two, fight a very strong monster, and he ends up carrying the team to victory. There are a few moments where he goes full game addict, and he's like, I can do this, I love this world, I hate the real world, which is, part of 8th grade syndrome, if you've ever heard of that. But by the end of the second episode, he has brought the team to victory against this monster, and he's starting to find his own way in the world. He's opened up more emotionally, and I was expecting the story to go in a different direction personally. And the direction that it is going in is not a bad direction, though. I don't hate stories of redemption for characters who have previously been cold or selfish and not caring about lives to a noble cause. My favorite example of that is the anime Code Geass, where Lelouch starts as a selfish person bent on revenge against, his um, perceived betrayers, his family, the royal family. And by the end of the story, he comes to fight against the, royal family for a more pure reason. His desire for the world to not be as twisted as it is into a cycle of conflict and hate. And he sees his part in it, his family's part in it, and recognizes his ability to make a change in that. There's another anime, Akame ga Kill, which watching that one it was very interesting story-wise. At the time that it came out, it was one of the first manga that I read that changed up the typical protagonist formula. And that is that it starts with, a young hero setting out from his small village to go to the big city to make a name for himself and improve his station in life and the lives of the people in the village in which he was raised. But within the first episode, first to second episode, things go horribly wrong. He gets, to near the capital, and his friends have been kidnapped and tortured, and he realizes that, the well-to-do people in the capital, there's a lot of corruption and a lot of twistedness, and, he becomes a hitman. But, the way that it started is the common shonen way, where you have your hero from a small village. You have your, Naruto, who's a goofy, weak ninja from a major village, but still, he's just the black sheep, the odd man out. He's not very particularly skilled or strong. People don't expect things of him, and you typically in anime expect to see them grow step by step into this very strong character, like Luffy in One Piece. He comes, before we knew his lineage, but where he was raised was on this small backwater island, and now he sets out in a rowboat at first to become a pirate king, and we know that he has grown significantly from there. But not all the time do we see a situation where, at first we didn't see a situation where the protagonist is brought to reality, the cruel reality of the world and how things work, and needs to adjust to that in a new way. And so far the episodes I've seen, hasn't been particularly manipulative, and I'm Standing on a Million Lives. But as the series progresses, it is possible that something happens that changes that. Other than that, it's a pretty solid anime. Like I said, I love the isekai genre. I love the game world aspect of being able to go to a world with mechanics that operate like a game, which is, common trope for the isekai genre, and also using abilities that are not typically assault-based to become stronger. Those are also one of my favorite things to watch, as far as niche powers that become overpowered. Like Luffy in One Piece, he's a rubber man, and there are people with other abilities, elemental-based abilities, fire, water, ice, lightning, and Luffy manages to become strong with relying on rubber elementality, basically. The same thing in lots of anime. In this one, his first job, and I'm standing on a million lives, is as a farmer, and being able to take those farming abilities and turn them into combat strategy is pretty amazing, and it's always fun for me to see different things. I was reincarnated as a slime, um, going from slimes, which are in most game settings the weakest creature, to being super strong, super overpowered is great. And I really look forward to seeing how this anime I'm Standing on the Million Lives progresses. Thank you for joining us for this week's anime discussion, and we look forward to seeing you again next week.
Please visit us online at hcpl.net, as well as download the Overdrive or Libby app in order to check out our electronic materials, including ebooks and e-audiobooks. Also, please follow us on social media in order to keep updated on new content from the North Channel Branch Library and Harris County Public Library systems. Thank you for watching.